over the past few months, I've kind of had this question of, do the Batman Arkham games still hold up in 2024? Because, yes, the last one was released 9 years ago. I think there is a very obvious answer to this question because it's not just about the overall graphics and the gameplay and the mechanics that go into it, but it's the story as well, right? Because you have to care about what you're playing. Otherwise, most people just aren't really going to care much about it. Now, if you were to ask me this question just straight up from a gameplay standpoint, from the combat, the melee, the stealth, everything that's involved in it, yes, this game's absolutely still hold up in 2024. Every single one of them, even including Batman Arkham Asylum. However, if you were to ask me straight up from a story point of view or from a world point of view, if these games still hold up, the only one I'd be hesitant to say yes to would be Batman Arkham Asylum. And it has nothing to do with the graphics, it has nothing to do with the combat, it's simply due to the fact that there isn't a whole lot of side quests involved here. Like, you can play the story, you can collect the Riddler trophies, but that's all there really is to do in these games. Or in this specific game, I guess I should say. And that's not me crapping on the overall story. I think the story is fantastic, but there's just a lack of side missions in the game for me to be able to play this game even once every few months and kind of really enjoy the experience. However, I will say, I do enjoy the experience of Batman Arkham Asylum still, especially considering the fact that Rocksteady only had 21 months to make this game in the first place. What they were able to come up with in such a short amount of time, because you have to think, 21 months is not a long time. Look how long it's taken for Rockstar to try to make GTA 6. It's taken over a decade for them to make this game. And of course, GTA 6 is yet still to come out, but I'm not here to talk about GTA 6 today. Strictly talking about Batman, the Batman Arkham universe in general, I think these games absolutely do still hold up in 2024. So then the question becomes, well, what are we here to talk about? Well, the reason why I bring this up in the first place is because of the fact that nowadays, and maybe it's just because I love these Arkham games so much, every single one of them I love with a passion, but I also think that the games that come out nowadays, not just Batman, but any sort of story mode games in general, I can't think of a really good story mode game that's come out in the past 5 years that I can really sit there and say, wow, I actually really love this game. I really enjoy the experience. Besides maybe The Last of Us Part 2, but when I played that at first, I really didn't like that. It took me time to kind of, really soak it in and really realize how good that game actually is. And it's kind of a shame to see that nowadays it seems like game developers seem to be more interested in just making their money with their online games, with the add-ons that you can buy credits from in-store, whatever it is. You could probably think of 1,000 examples just off the top of your head alone. But these Batman games are very, very replayable, thank goodness. But the thing is, there's going to come a point where these games are just no longer replayable because they've been played over and over again. You've seen the same story, you've seen the same side missions, you've seen the same buildings over and over again. So there has to be at some point a solution for these problems. Now, I could sit here and tell you that we need a new Batman game, but I think I've kind of drilled that into people's heads already. I've already said that I don't think it should be an Arkham game for the next Batman game, which it doesn't have to be a Batman Arkham game, just a Batman game in general where you play as Batman. You experience what it's like to be Bruce Wayne, to interact with Alfred, Oracle, Robin, whoever. We want that experience back again. The problem is the last couple games in the Batman universe that have come out, whether it was Suicide Squad, whether it was Gotham Knights, you don't even play as Batman. You don't even get to experience what it's like to be the Dark Knight. So these new games that are coming out, they have the right idea, but I think it's just in the wrong type of universe. People want to play as Batman again, but with a fresh story so that they can experience this stuff for the first time, I remember playing Batman Arkham Origins, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Asylum. I remember playing these games for the first time, and I wish to this day that I can go back and just experience it all for the first time again. And the same thing with, say, the Spider-Man games, for instance. I wish that we could just go back and experience it all for the first time again, which means that the game was really good if you really want that. And I want that in a new Batman game, right? Because as much as these games are replayable, I think when you replay the same story over and over again, eventually it just kind of starts to become a bit stale. And that's not anybody's fault. That's just how it is. We want to see something new and fresh, something for us to desire. But at the end of the day, I love playing these games once every few months. I love just sitting down, putting on one of these games and I could play it for hours. And it's honestly something that Rocksteady and WB Games Montreal did an amazing job developing these games. If we can still play them, 15 years after the first one came out, 9 years after the very last one came out, if we could still sit down and enjoy them still to this very day, then I think that the developers did a very good job. Even Batman Arkham Origins, because I know there's a lot of you still to this day that don't give Batman Arkham Origins the credit it deserves, and that is very unfortunate. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you guys ever still go back and play these games? Are they still replayable? Or would you rather just see a new Batman game because you're tired of playing these old ones? Or maybe it's a bit of both. I can absolutely understand that too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you guys want to see next down in the comments below. I'm always open to new ideas, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.